Hello and welcome to this QuickBooks tutorial. This tutorial is about the basics of Visual Basic or Visual Studio 2008. Now in this lesson, part 1, we're going to be downloading Visual Basic and learning a few basic tricks in Visual Basic. So first of all, if you haven't yet downloaded it, open up your web browser and go to google.com. Now in Google, type in Visual Basic 2008 in the search bar and hit enter. Now it's going to be the second or first, depending on what you sent, and then just click on the second or first one. Now it should come up with a Microsoft.com, and then if you're not yet on this page, click on this here and scroll down to the download now. Select your language and click download. Now I've already downloaded it, so I don't need to. The download will be very quick, but then the installer will take a lot longer, and it will take maybe, depending on your internet, up to maybe 30 minutes to download, and that's also, you'll need to install that too. Okay, so once it's downloaded, you're just going to need to open it up, and it should look a little bit something like this. Okay, so you've got your Visual Basic headlines, getting started, and Visual Studio headlines. Okay, now these up here, they are for when you are designing your project. Same with the toolbox, and there will be a properties tab that comes up here when you create the project. Now here's your file, edit, all these things here. But we're just not going to have a look at those yet. We're going to be going down to create a new project. Now make sure it is a Windows Form application. Now you can name it whatever you want. Okay. Now, just wait for it to load. And once it's all loaded up, it should have a little bit of a screen like this. Now, first of all, we're going to be going through these after we have finished making our form. Now, this here is the form. You can resize it. Today we're just going to be making a basic web browser, so resize it to quite a large size. Now we'll go through the properties. The properties, if you click on an item and then click the properties, it will have all the properties for that item. So the form name, don't change the form name. So here you've got everything here, but today we're just going to be doing the basics of changing this to web browser and adding an icon. Now adding an icon is very easy. You just need to click the icon button and go to your downloaded location and select the icon. iconarttribe.com is a good place to download your icons, as you can download them as an icon. So it's iconarttribe.com. Okay, now also we're going to be changing the back color. There are lots of colors, you can choose one, but I'm going to choose my favorite. There. Okay, so here is our toolbox. This is where we have controls like buttons, text boxes, labels, combo boxes, panels, picture boxes, progress bars, etc. But today we're just making a basic web browser, so we're going to need, just right now, add a button, a text box, doesn't matter what size they are yet, and a web browser, and we'll just have those for now. Now we're going to move this web browser here, move these out of the way, and we're going to resize it down to the bottom of the form. Now we're going to, this is just a small window. We're not going to be making it with a big window, but you can make it bigger if you want. And once you have done that, resize the buttons so they fit nicely, and we're going to need a back button, so that's 1, a forward button, that's 2, a refresh button, that's 3, a home button, that's 4, a go button, that's 5, and a stop button, that's 6. Okay, so bring your text box all the way along to the side here. And there is the start of your web browser. Of course, you may be wondering, the text is all button 1, button 2. That can't be right, but you just go down to there. Back. Now also, you can add an image. So you find background image, and then you click on it. Go local resources, import, and find the location. Okay? And then you may be wondering, it is got multiple buttons, or it's too fat, or it's not in the right position, but you can change that by clicking stretch, which stretches the image out across the button, or center, which centers the image. The other one's tile, which means that the image repeats itself, or zoom is the image is fitted into the button, or the yeah. Okay, sorry. So I'll just make it centered, even though it does cut out a little bit, and I'll remove the text just for this one button. And then we're going to need to have a forward. You can do the same. You can add buttons, pictures on the buttons if you want, and then home, refresh, go, and stop. Okay, so resize your buttons, your web browser, and then we'll go through here. Now, you'll most likely never use these here, except for these three here and maybe some of these. And you probably won't use much of these either. Now, first of all, we're going to debug it. The little play button there. And what this is doing is just testing it out. So far you've got your buttons, your text box, your web browser, and your form. So right now, they are no use to us at all, because we haven't coded them. Coding will be in part 2, which will be coming up. You can click on the link or annotation to get to part 2. Also, I'm just going to be teaching you one more thing before part 1 is finished, which is saving. So once you want to save, you go save all. If you haven't yet saved, it'll come up with save project. You name it whatever you want and choose the location of the project that you want to save to, and you save. Okay. That is the end of part 1. Watch part 2 for the coding and some more tricks.